Welcome back to another episode of the free VST Plugins Detective, where I review, test out, and demonstrate various free VSTs. For today, we're looking at the Beatmaker Bass Module 2. This is basically an 808 plugin. It's a light version. Obviously, sometimes a decent amount of companies will make it like a light version that's free, that doesn't have all the features of like the premium version. This is that situation. Obviously, it says 808 Lite. I'm going to give this one, I think, a 2.5 out of 5, being honest. I think just because it's a bit limited. I mean, it is a light version. But hey, if you need an 808 sample and you want to customize it a little bit, it's a decent plugin. So, as you can see, these are the 808 samples I have, so I'm just going to play them. And that's it. So that's basically the main samples that you have. Now, obviously, I can adjust them a little bit here. I have the LFO, depth, and rate. And I can adjust the LFO a lot here, which I think is kind of cool. But I'm going to be honest, I feel like I wouldn't really use like an LFO on a bass. Like maybe, like, I mean, I could always do something like that. Like, right, but if I'm doing it in a bass, like, I mean, unless you want to go for something like suspenseful or something like rumble type effect, you know, I feel like typically I wouldn't use this kind of like LFO thing, you know. Oh, we got some bells going. I actually just moved to Westwood here in Los Angeles, basically right in Beverly Hills, and UCLA is like right next to me, so every hour I get that kind of like church bell chime style sound effect, which is pretty cool. So that's what you're hearing kind of in the background. Anyway, though, going back to the plugin, now I have, I just stopped working, which is interesting. Is that part of the effect, maybe? Oh, that's interesting. Huh. So it's interesting that if I turn these down, it doesn't work. So let me restart it. Maybe I hit something different. I don't think I did. So I'm gonna load this up again. Looks weird. This one takes a second to load. I'll just give you that heads up. What's interesting now is now it works fine. So this is kind of weird that if I turn this up and then turn it down, like I did before, and I was kind of messing around with it, it wasn't really giving me a sound. So that's a bit of a glitch. I'm not sure if that's because it's the light version, but that's a bit annoying. I'm not sure why it does that, actually. But as you see here, I can adjust like the LFO waveform, which I think is kind of cool. You know, and then obviously the LFO source as well. So you can do some cool kind of customization settings within each 808. But a lot of these I don't think I'd use, which is why I'm just giving it the 2.5 out of 5. But again, like I said, you have the gain, amplitude, glide, so... Right, and then release. If I want like a really long... This is a little too long, actually. But this is, I feel like, the type of plugin that I would resample, and I've showed you this before, but to show you again, I could do something like this, and next time I'm going to throw in... Actually, you know what? Is that the glide, I think? Let me go back to this plugin. Wow, this one really takes up... It doesn't seem like it's taking up that much CPU, but for some reason, I'm just going to do that. Okay, so like I want to do a C note, which is tough to do, actually. Fun fact, the best, like... bass notes or whatever, if you're trying to like produce, especially like dubstep, trap, and of heavy bass style genre, I'd say probably E or F to about G sharp is the best, because something like C, do you want it this high, which is not that low, or do you want it too low, that it sounds a bit muffled, right? So I'm just going to do the low one, because it's an 808. What I'm typically going to do is I'm going to just go here, I'm going to freeze it, this is one way to resample, and I'm going to flatten. So now, in a sense, I have my own sample like so. I might do this actually just at the end. Oh no. Still haven't gotten completely used to Ableton 10. Right, so that way if I want to do something like this, let me take this off, I can do like... But I can also adjust this too with an Ableton, and I kind of like doing that. So this is the type of plugin I think that if I just want an 808, I might resample it, just to make it a little bit easier to kind of manipulate and do what I want.